Hi friend, I'm Anna Helman. Have you ever heard the statement, broken is beautiful? Today we're going to use that on our card project. We are going to use intentional imperfections for some really fun techniques that you can use on any cards. But especially these will be amazing for people who are walking through difficult times in their lives. Let's get started. As usual at the end, if you stick around, we will chat about life a bit. Maybe we'll talk about hard times since that's a little bit of a theme of the kinds of cards we're going to be making today. But this right here is what inspired today's project. It is a set designed to actually have imperfections on them, like cracks that can be used on vases, cracks, the cracked stamps. We have cracked dies. The vases, this lovely embossing folder is imperfect, several different pieces put together. I don't know the exact story. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. I'm sure some of you know, but I think it's in Japanese artwork that something is considered more valuable when it has been broken and put back together, like pottery. So anyway, I'd love if you know more about that. I would love for you to tell us in the comments. So we're going to do several techniques that you can do on any of your card projects. I will be using some of these products specific to this product suite, such as this beautiful paper that also has some imperfections built into it. But the techniques I'll be sharing you can use at home with any of your products. So what we are going to do on this first card is we're going to do some tearing. So I'll attach this piece of designer paper to the front of the card. Then we are going to tear down the edge where it opens. We're also going to decorate the inside. Let's do this first. I'll go ahead and put this strip on the inside. This way, when we tear that edge, we can see a bit of decoration from the side. Now, when you're tearing, you may want to practice on a scrap piece of paper just to get a feel for it. So, okay, I have scrap paper here. Let's do a little bit of practice right here. So, tearing is pretty simple. You may want to tear straight. You may want to tear, depending on your project, a little more crooked, back and forth. What I find is when I'm tearing, you're going to get a rough edge and you're going to get a smoother edge. So the rough edge is going to be on the top. I really like the look of that rough edge, and you can see this here in a second when I do this on my card. I really like the look of that rough edge. It shows up a little bit better than like it's distressed, whereas the other one is just jagged, I guess. So something else you can do is take here is a piece of cardstock. I have all kinds of scraps lying here, friends. If you want to tear straight, use a straight edge like this. Or you could take a thicker piece of cardstock or chipboard or something. You could tear this. I used to have a tearing template, and the way it was used was like this. So it's nice and heavy. I put my paper underneath, and I can tear along it, and it just helps to get a certain pattern. Okay, so tearing, lots of times I've done this to create like snow drifts and things. It's a fun technique. Today we're just going to do it for added decoration. So I am just going to tear, and with my cardstock and my designer paper on top, this is a little bit, takes a little bit more effort to tear it. But now let's look at this up close so you can see the cardstock on the edge and then the designer paper over a little farther with that white edge in the middle of the designer paper. We have this lovely decoration that is the start of our card. So I am going to decorate all of these with some pieces that I got out of the designer paper pack that goes with the set that I showed you. It's called Kintsugi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Kintsugi. And I love that this paper pack has some pieces that I could die cut. that coordinate with the dies. So I have these flowers that I was just able to cut out with one of the dies, and there are some other ones you'll see here shortly. But beautiful card idea, very simple. It's a great way to use up some of those patterned papers in your set, and it came together very quickly. So here's the first one of using imperfections on a project. This next one, we are going to do two things. We are going to stamp some imperfections onto this piece of paper. But if you do not have the stamp that I'm showing you in this set, I am going to show you another way to get the same effect. So this is the larger stamp in the set that has some of the cracks I really like. This, let's see, we'll add one more right down here. Okay, now let's say if you don't have this set, here is an easy way you can get the same effect just with a marker. And I know a lot of times we might be afraid to try and draw things with a marker because it's just not going to turn out right. Well, here's the thing. Cracks are not supposed to be straight. They're supposed to be very, they like the definition of imperfect, right? Uh, so you can just take a marker, and there is no right or wrong to this, but you can create some of those imperfections just with a marker. I'm using a really light touch. I think the harder you press, probably, I think it would look more even and less like an imperfection. So anyway, you can try that if you want to. Here, our card base for this one, I used that beautiful embossing folder. It's called Inspiring Imperfections. I feel like this is my new motto in life. Like, social media has made everybody in life wanna, I don't know, we think we're supposed to be perfect. We see everybody else as perfect. No way, friends. We are not perfect. I'm a hot mess. I don't know about you. Anyway, so if you want to chat more, you should stick around till the end. We always chat about life. If you want to keep the relationship on the crafting basis, that is cool too. You stick around till I'm done crafting and go find something else to watch. Okay, so here is the second one, but I really like, we've got that embossed design in the background and then these nice cracks. I love to add texture to my cards, just like in certain spots around the edges, and this is kind of a fun way with that crack effect. Next one, we are going to do some more tearing on this one, and then we are going to add another effect to it. So I am going to tear, I just love these designer papers in this pack. They're absolutely beautiful with the gold accent. Some of them have those, like the cracks and the imperfections. Some of them don't. We have some lovely florals. So there you can see that gold. I'm going to tear down the edges of this as well. So if you're doing this, you could lay them on top of each other to tear them. You can do it separately like I am with what I'm doing. I don't know if it's all going to show. So we still see most of that blue. I had started with the blue a little bit larger than the designer paper on purpose so that we would end up with something kind of like this. And I debated whether to tear the top and the bottom edges too. I think I'll leave it the way it is. But here is the next way we're going to give some imperfection. If you watch along with my videos, you've seen me do this before. And it may seem like a sad thing to take some of our beautiful paper and crumple it up. But you know what? I think it makes it more beautiful. I just love to do this. I love the effect it creates on cards. Adds texture. It adds experience. It adds hardship that the paper has come through, come out of it, and it's still beautiful. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, I die cut out this lovely crack over here just for a little bit of something to put in the background. Let's attach all of this together. And the decoration on this one, I've kept very simple. I don't really have much. I just have that crack in the background. We're going to add this and the crumpled paper over top. And we'll add the greeting over top. There's some neat greetings in this set. Thanks for helping me through this difficult time. You inspire me. There's beauty in your history. I love that. I know you'll get through this and be stronger for it. And the basic, when you don't know what to say, I'm here for you. Okay. And last but not least, one more way to add some imperfections and create some really neat effects on your cards is with sandpaper. Now you can use a sanding block. They make crafting tools for this. I appreciate a good DIY home project, and I have lots of sandpaper in our collection. So anyway, I just grabbed a piece that had been used before, I believe. This one, if you're curious, it is 100 grit. You could do this with finer grit or bigger grit, coarser. You want to protect your surface when you're doing this, that you don't scratch up whatever's on your surface. You can do it around the edges. Hold this up and see if you are starting to see where some of those edges are worn away. And especially with this gold effect, here you can see the gold is getting scratched. So I could do this all over. I'll do a little bit more around, more towards the edges, and I think I'll leave the inside undistressed, if that's a word. So now I have some little dusties. We'll brush those off to the side. And attach this together. So you can combine some of these effects. I have some other videos on distressing cards, how to create vintage cards. I will link to those in the video description below. Those are some really fun ones that are similar to this. But I just thought this was a really neat idea for some card tutorials about how to embrace imperfections and even actually create them on purpose, because broken is beautiful. Friend, help me promote this in our world instead of everybody trying to look and act perfect. Let's look at all four of these cards quickly, and then I'll flip the camera around. Here are the last two I created with this beautiful gold effects and all of the imperfections. So I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about at the end of this video until I started talking, and then I was like, well, of course, we're going to talk about embracing your imperfections. So what do those look like? Some of our imperfections we were born with. I have never been a big fan of my voice. I know there are other people who are not a fan of my voice too, because, you know, somebody, at least one person in one of my comments told me they can't watch me because my voice is terrible. Thank you. That's fine. There's other people to watch. Thank you. I've never liked my voice. My hands. I don't like my hands. I find it funny because, like, what do you listen to? My voice. What do you see all the time? My hands. Well, anyway, I just got over it and figured I like to make videos, so I'm going to keep doing this anyway. But what are the imperfections in your life that maybe are built into your body or your DNA? Or then there's all of those ones that we acquire as baggage throughout our life, through hard things, right? Through, in a lot of cases, I feel like it's people who don't treat us well. We acquire baggage, or the thoughts that end up in our head that we are not worthy for one reason or another. Sometimes people put those thoughts in us. I believe in a lot of cases, those thoughts are not coming from anyone or anything in particular besides evil and its influence on our lives and trying to keep us from being a bright light in the world. If we think we're unworthy, we're going to be less courageous. We're going to do less reaching out. We're going to have less energy to put into doing good in this world. Anyway, there's a lot of places that this baggage, thoughts in our head, pain that we hold on to, a lot of places that these things can come from. So what are we talking about? Embracing imperfections. See, I don't plan these. I never know what in the world I'm